Hey everybody, this is Chris Hake, founder of the Master Investor Academy and Madison Rehab. And today's video is going to be on a deal that is just in the process of being closed on. My student Sam just got this property wrapped up and closing with a new investor. And what we're going to talk about today is the 4 ways to create opportunities for exit strategies: rehabbing, wholesaling, wholetailing, and rental. And which one makes sense on every deal and which one is the best deal for you. Stay tuned, we're going to get to that in just 1 minute. If you're new here, my name is Chris Hake. I've been a Madisonian for over 46 years, and I've been investing in this Madison real estate market for over 26 years. I created the Master Investor Academy and this channel to help you master the art of rehabbing, wholesaling, and rentals so you can live the life of your dreams. Be sure to subscribe and click the bell icon so you can get notified of future video releases. As a full-time real estate investor, I always look at every deal 4 different ways, and that's what we're going to talk about today: rehabbing, wholesaling, wholetailing, and rentals. And this property is a great example of that. So this is the deal, again, that my student Sam just got done. He's at the closing table right now, getting all wrapped up and picking up that big fat check. And so those 4 ways, let's take a look at each one and break it down and take a look at what it means. I did a video earlier with Sam where he actually talked about this particular project, but I want to break it down in kind of a general sense of how we look at every property. So first and foremost, depending on which exit strategy works best for you, that depends on you, your vision, and where you are in your real estate investing journey. Everybody is in a different spot. This property today, if it was me that was working on this and I had found this deal, wholesaling would have been the strategy for me, because I'm at a point where I'm looking to take properties, get in and out, and feed them to other people in the RIA, other investors, and other students that I'm working with. So that would be the preferred method for me. But when you look at this property from a rehab standpoint, that one is first and foremost. So we're going to start with number 1, rehab. I always look at that one first because I want every single deal I'm looking at to match one firm criteria: the 70% rule. You guys have heard it. I've talked about it in the front of the room for decades, and it's something that I've lived by and built my business around, and all the teachings that I've ever done. I know that if I run the numbers and I have the correct ARV, meaning I've gone out and I've researched and talked to other realtors and done the homework myself to come up with an ARV that I believe is solid, and number 2, that I have a good solid repair estimate worksheet on this property scope of work, that if I have those 2 numbers and I'm 70% of my ARV, then I'm going to be in great shape. And if my buy price is at 70% or lower, I'm in a perfect spot to be able to do a rehab. Now, does it mean I'm going to do the rehab? No, it doesn't necessarily mean I have to, but I know that it'll work. So this property fit that criteria to be at 70% of ARV. Actually, a little bit better, about 68 or 69% of ARV. So definitely solid numbers, okay? Secondly is a wholesale. Well, a wholesale, if it's going to have solid numbers for a rehab, because of this market, now normally I would say if I'm buying a property at 70% of ARV to rehab it, I'm going to want to be maybe at 65% of ARV to be able to wholesale it. So I can wholesale it to a rehabber who's going to come in. They're going to look at that 70% number because they want to have meat on the bone to make a profit after they do all the work. And then that difference of 70% and 65% is my piece. That's my assignment piece, or my small profit for finding the deal and doing really no other work other than marketing. That 5% difference between 65 and 70. But in this market, the last couple, 2-3 years, I can find stuff at 70% of ARV, and I know that I can wholesale it at 75%, even sometimes 80%, because there's so many people looking for deals. So many investors are looking for their next project, and many investors do not do the work up front to market. And when you have marketing and you're finding leads, you have the gold. So on this particular property, This one would fit that criteria, and ultimately that is what Sam did. He did a wholesale on this. It's a great property. Another rehabber can come in, Sam can get a piece, a profit, and the rehabber is going to be able to do the work and get a profit as well. So a win-win. So that's number 2 strategy, exit-wise. Number 3 could be a wholetail. Now the wholetail, that's a whole other conversation if you've never heard the term, and no, I'm not mispronouncing or misspelling the word wholesale. Wholetail is when you are out there selling the property to the retail market as opposed to the investor market, which would be the wholesale. So this particular property did not fit that criteria because of one main reason. It was not financeable as it sits today. It's got foundation problems. Now, the foundation can be fixed, but the problems nonetheless are there. So if I took this property today and I put it on the market after it's closed, I would have a tough time finding a buyer that was not a cash buyer, because most buyers buying a retail property are going to live in the property, which is great, but that means they're going to have conventional financing or some other kind, Freddie, Fannie, FHA financing, which means there's going to be tighter, strict criteria in the lending process and the insurance process, both. And so with foundation problems, they're not going to get a loan on this property. Therefore, wholetailing is probably not the best strategy for me or anybody to do today. So that's 3 of them: rehabbing, wholesale, wholetail, and finally rental. This could be a great rental property for the right investor. So my student Sam, who bought this, at the price he bought it at, with what he would have to do in repairs, which frankly would be less than a full rehab, because he could make it rent ready for probably about $35,000. Well, his all-in number, if he wanted to keep it, would be such that he would have equity built into the property from day one. He could get a loan, no problem, without any money out of pocket, and, well, he'd have to do the repairs, which we already talked about, but essentially he could get it refinanced, and this would be a perfect BRRRR strategy. He could have kept this property. It probably would have cash flowed about $200 to $225 per month after all expenses, after 8% property management taken out and 8% vacancy calculated in. He would still be cash flowing $200 to $225 a month and have a big chunk of equity in this property and have 0 money out of pocket. So why didn't Sam choose to rent it? For the very simple reason that it was not in his vision today to do that. He's a brand new investor. He's trying to build up some stockpile some money to be able to fund his business, and he's a brand new investor. He's only 2 deals in, and so rentals are in his future, but not today. And so Sam had the ability to do 3 out of those 4 exit strategies. He chose to wholesale it, found another savvy investor in this area who wanted another project, and he made a nice wholesale fee. And I know the rehabber will do a great job on this property, and he's going to make a nice profit when he sells it to somebody on the MLS. So that's the 4 strategies. I hope that made sense, and I hope you're able to take away a nugget on there. Again, anytime you guys are looking at properties, always look at all 4 of those ways. There's always multiple strategies to be able to take a property and to move forward on it. It just depends on where you are in your investment strategy and in your vision. My name is Chris Hake. I'm founder of the Master Investor Academy and the Madison Rehab. And we're having a great time here. I hope you guys are getting nuggets out of this. Again, make sure you click on the icon, get subscribed. We're going to be doing a lot of videos, and I hope you guys are watching, and I hope they're helping you get to the next level for your business journey. All right? Thanks so much, guys. Have a great day.